Welcome, everybody, to Funeral Nation episode 65. That is Jeff, the Funeral Commander Harbison. I am Ryan Thogmartin. You're in your element somewhat. I am not. I'm at home. We had, that might be an important call. We had a gas leak downtown our city beside our office, so we have to work from home today. But
is that coming after the chili fest y'all had this weekend?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, it was natural gas. So, all right.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, who are we blessed to have on here as an awesome sponsor?
Well, we've got our fast funding group, Jamie and the gang. In fact, we're looking for Jamie is going to send us something kind of cool coming up here shortly. But let's go ahead and roll his video.
Hello, all you FNers. Jamie Meredith here with C&J Financial, American Funeral Financial, and Funeral Funding Center. We're stoked to bring you the Funeral Nation web show every single week. Guys, every day our office is bombarded with calls from funeral directors just like you all across the country who are just sick and tired of waiting weeks or sometimes months for payment on their insurance assignment cases. That is insane. There is a better way. Our group currently works with more than 3,000 funeral homes nationwide and funds more than 40,000 funerals annually. And we'd love to show you why so many of your colleagues use us to process and fund all of their insurance claims. Check us out at cjf.com, americanfuneralfinancial.com, and funeralfundingcenter.com today for more information. Remember, always be finer than split frog hair in 4 different directions.
Okay, on today's show, it's going to be kind of cool. We're going to sort of go across the pond, but not. We're going to talk to somebody about a new product in the funeral industry that's emerging. Our spotlight's going to Oklahoma, and the WTF is like, hey, put on the brakes.
Put on the
Ryan,
brakes.
what's put on the brakes. What's the buzz on the industry right now?
I got 2 things. First, NPR, obviously the article they put out, 2 parts this week, just same old, bad press for funeral directors, and it really is kind of ridiculous, but that's gotten a lot of play. Do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, in fact, we have the post follow-up of what to do when you get bad press for the foresight forecast. So bottom line is get your staff together and talk about it, right? What a response. Just don't stick your head in the hole. Get out in the community. Oh, yeah, and use social media. Okay? Tell your story. Don't rely on NPR to do it. But what do I know?
Awesome. And kind of 2 little self-plug here. We launched version 4 of connectingdirectors.com this week. Brand new redesign, fully responsive on mobile. We built in some pretty high-tech features into the back end to make the site more responsive and kind of serve our readers better and our advertisers. So that's kind of big news as well.
Good. Well, that's wonderful. I think our buzz is by Pierce Chemical. In fact, I'm having a little XL today. I know Lance is going like, quit drinking that stuff on. But this is good. I mean, look at the tan I got. Feeling
beautiful.
Good. I'm all invigorated. I know. Beautiful. Lovely. Run that promo.
Pierce is the bomber's choice for fluids and over 1,800 different prep room supplies in stock. Visit us at piercechemical.com to learn more about Pierce.
Okay, Jeff, the more you know question this week is one that we're going to fire at you.
All right.
And so this comes from Steve in Texas. Should I have a social media policy in my funeral home employee handbook?
Yeah. I mean, think about that. Of course, Ryan, you know all the peril that could happen with social media.
Right.
But if you don't have a policy, if you don't regulate it, you really can't do anything about it. So the answer is yes. You do need a social media policy that employees must adhere to, not only using your name, but even pretty much how they conduct themselves off-site as well. Anyway, if you want more information, just give me a email at jeff@theforesightcompanies.com. We have a human resources expert. I'd be glad to talk to you about it.
Excellent. And we always tell funeral directors not having social media policies like giving an employee a company credit card without any instructions on how to use it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So
good job.
Excellent, Jeff. So who do we have as our guest this week? It's a good
I
one.
am so excited about this. This is a dear friend, Jennifer Muldowney of Eco Legacy. Lovely young lady, really smart. She's a superlative in our industry. So let's roll that interview. Jennifer, welcome to the Funeral Nation TV show.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me, guys.
We're glad to have you here. Will you please share a little about yourself and Eco Legacy, your company?
I certainly will. So I would be known in Ireland, little island of Ireland, as the Glam Reaper. I've written a book on funeral planning called Safe Farewell My Way, and I also have a cremation jewellery line. And it was during my research of my book that actually I met yourself, Jeff, 4 to 5 years ago. And it was during all of that I also interviewed Tony Ennis of Eco Legacy. So Tony is the CEO of Eco Legacy, and they've developed a new form of green cremation, essentially, or cremation 2.0 called Ecolation. And what was fascinating to me about Tony was when I fell into the business, I didn't grow up in the funeral industry at all. It was, I was actually in the events planning and wedding planning business, and some might say a bit more suited to my personality, but whatever. And a couple of friends of mine passed away, and it just got me thinking about the entire industry. And a bit similar, Tony had come from the energy industry, and he had revolutionized it I was about to say here in Ireland, but I'm actually sitting in New York at the minute. I don't know where I am these days. And his mum, he just buried his mum on his 21st birthday, and he told me the story about how he just felt like the graveyard didn't represent her, didn't represent the warmth, her personality, and just he didn't like going there. And he started, because he'd been in the energy industry, he started looking into it and burial and cremation, and what good or bad they did to the planet. So he created Eco Legacy. He created Ecolation. He got an amazing team of scientists and engineers around him, and the company has 3 pillars. It's focused on research and development on green technologies in the industry. It obviously had to have a sustainable business model, but it also wanted to give back more than it took. Tony's such an inspirational guy. I mean, if you guys can get him on, you really should. He's really, really fascinating, and he's a great guy to work for. And yeah, we just clicked straight off. A bit like yourself and myself, Jack. Just made it.
Ours a little more rocky, but it was all good.
All right, so Jennifer, give us a rundown on kind of the idea and science behind Eco Legacy.
Okay, so burial and cremation are, I suppose, the 2 things that we know. But both of those would, if we look at them and break them down, they're negative. They both use up energy. They both create waste. They both pollute either the air or the soil. And at the end of the day, there's 7.4 billion people on this planet. Over the next 100 years, we're either burying them or they're going up into the atmosphere. So we're either going to be breathing them in or we're going to be walking over them. So the point behind Eco Legacy and Ecolation was that it had to be ethical, it had to be environmental, and it had to be dignified. And it had to use natural resources. So, Tony didn't want anybody being manhandled or anything throughout the process. It had to be dignity for the body. He wanted to capture toxins, carcinogens, all of the things that we know, toxins that go up into the atmosphere when somebody is cremated. Flame, no burning of energy that was unnecessary. So that was really the basis behind the whole thing.
All righty. So share with us how Eco Legacy differs from cremation.
So it differs quite a lot, actually, because again, as we know, the ash that you receive back from cremation is essentially ground bone and coffin or casket materials. With Ecolation, you get 100% of the remains back, because the soft tissues haven't been sort of burned and sent up into the atmosphere. There's no toxins gone up into the atmosphere. Everything is contained in the process through the Ecolation unit from start to finish. So you know that Auntie Mary 100% is coming back to you. Also, with every cremation, for every body, there's about 400 kilos of CO2 emitted, with heavy metals, mercury, pollutants, toxins, carcinogens, all of that fun stuff. With Eco Legacy or Ecolation, should I say, there's 0.01% emissions. I mean, even, I know we have all the filters and the things for the chimney stacks and that. But I mean, even Cana, I think, did a study recently where they said that it has little effect on the actual toxins that are released. With Ecolation, there is no chimney, there is no flame, and you get completely 100% organic, nutritious remains back. It's got calcium, it's got phosphorus, it's got carbon. So you can actually put a seed into it and essentially grow into a tree, unlike cremated remains that with the high sodium levels and pH imbalance, you could actually kill off a plant if a seed is put into that. So,
Wow.
and again, back to there's no human intervention. So once the body enters the unit, it comes out as the ash.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what would the advantages be for funeral homes to offer Eco Legacy to the families they serve?
Well, we are new, and we get that. So we do have to explain a lot as to what we are and why we're different and everything. But I mean, at the end of the day, it economically makes sense, it environmentally makes sense, it ethically makes sense. It's dignified. There's no massive capital outlays. Like one of the things that Tony really wanted to do was work with local small businesses. So nobody has to sort of fork out millions for a cremation unit or an Ecolation unit in our case. We actually will work with a business model with the funeral home owners to better their business and allow them to offer this option to their customers, but in a way that makes sense for them financially. But also then on a bit of a human note, which is, again, back to what me and Tony bonded over originally. And, funeral home owners are in this, they're a community, and they're in this because they're human beings who care about other human beings. It's a vocation. It's not just something you kind of go and say, yeah, I'm going to come into this and I'm going to make some bang for my buck. They want to leave their own legacy in their community. And you get to leave this legacy, a clean legacy. You get to be a part of something good. And you get to, well, I suppose at this early stage, if you engage with Eco Legacy, you get to be a leader in your community and you get to bring this, which is fantastic. Or, which we envisage if people don't, is it will be led by the families. Like, we have a massive marketing structure going on, and it is just going to blow up. So, families are.
We don't want it to blow up too much, because that would
yeah, wrong use of phrase.
It's okay. I love you like a play cousin. You know that.
Marketing just.
Yeah, marketing. It's going to blow up.
Social media. All online.
I don't know if I want to do that. So Eco Legacy sounds like it is offering better environmental for cremation. And it seems to really kind of fit between cremation and burial. Can you expound just a little bit?
So price-wise, because that's one thing that is often talked about in the funeral industry, it will be comparable to cremation. So it will still have the savings of burial, but it will be comparable to cremation. It'll be just a little bit above cremation. It will be, which is good. It's good for the customers, but it's also good for funeral home owners. As I said, like the business model, and I can just, I can discuss that, or if any of your viewers want to go into that in more detail, we'll happily do that. But it's more economical, it's more environmental, as I said, ethical, dignified than cremation. And as I had, we have a unit working in Dublin, in Ireland. And we've had many people from all over the world come to visit. But one really interesting one was a friend of mine he's 80 years of age, and he's a bit of a celebrity in Ireland. And I brought him over just to have a look, just to see and see what his thoughts were. He's very open to. I sat down and did a funeral plan with him 5 years ago, and so we showed him the unit and asked him what his thoughts were. And afterwards, when I was dropping him home, I said, what did you think? And he said, well, it's going to put crematoriums out of business, really, isn't it? And I said, well, no, people will still be able to choose cremation, and they can still choose cremation if that's what they want. But I thought his answer was just so fascinating. He just said, but why? I don't understand why they would. And to me, that's fascinating, because it gives you all the benefits that we know of cremation today, but it gives you 100 times more. The remains can still be buried or kept or used in all the same ways as cremated remains. But burial of ecolated remains means you're actually giving back to the soil, you're giving back to the environment, as opposed to just taking up space.
Fantastic. So, is the Funeral Nation going to get to see you anytime soon at any upcoming conventions, or anything like that?
Yes, I'm very excited. I was just saying that I'm looking a bit tired because I've been burning the midnight oil because I've been working on a speech for an upcoming South Carolina conference for regulators of the industry in 3 weeks, which I'm very excited about. I'll also be doing a workshop as the Glam Reaper at the NFDA in Boston in October. So that will be really, really fun. Trust me, I have a very exciting lineup for that. 2 hours of me, it's going to be a party. We'll also be at ICCFA in Nashville in April. But also what I'd love to do is personally invite a VIP invite to all of your viewers to email me, and maybe I'll leave my details with you guys to come and visit the unit for themselves in Dublin if they're really interested.
Sure.
It is phenomenal, and to see it is to believe it. So.
Well, you'll probably need some celebrities like us to come over there. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely,
You
of
know?
course.
Yes. And by the way, you'll probably need me in South Carolina to interpret for you, since you're giving a speech. What'd she say? She said it's good. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I said, put the rubbish in the bin, not the trash. Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
My car, not the trunk.
The vitamins and all the other stuff.
Yeah. Cheers to drinking vitamins.
Yes, I'm having a little Excel this morning myself with my cigar. You and I go way back, ma'am.
We do.
And I consider you quite a friend, and I'm excited that you're involved with this business. You're from beautiful Ireland. I know that folks may not have picked up on that accent. It is not Minnesota, y'all. Okay, now, or Alabama. Yeah. So, will you share something with us as we close that's different in the U.S. versus Ireland as far as funerals?
Well, we definitely do go back, Jeff. I mean, how could anybody forget you and your cigars, those bright outfits, and your beautiful wife? You definitely stand out, that's for sure.
Yeah, bless her heart.
Gorgeous, warm family, and hopefully lots of good times in the future. But it is interesting that you've asked that question, actually, because I've just finished writing book number 2. Like, I don't have enough on my plate at the minute, but I've just finished writing book number 2. I don't want to give too much away because I will actually be basing my workshop in Boston at the NFDA on it. But it will be a funeral planning guide for people of Ireland across the world. So it'll be very much similar to what I did before, but for the Irish diaspora, so Irish spread all over. So it goes into like depth and history. But right now, considering what we've just talked about, because as you know, I could probably do another session on that, I'm going to stick with modern times and the subject that's in hand today and say, well, we're doing equalation in Ireland, and that is different to what you guys are doing in the US for now. Tomorrow could be a different story, so we'll see.
All right, Jennifer. So thank you for coming and sharing with us about Eco Legacy. We'll see you in Nashville for sure a few weeks from now.
Yeah.
And congratulations. We also look forward for your book coming out too.
Yes. Oh, I'll send you a copy. I'll come on and do another show about that. Just about that.
You know
All
what?
about
We'll
me.
invite you. Absolutely. Hey, no. It's all about me.
But what? Outrageous.
Come on. All right. Well, thank you so much, and tell hello to all our friends there at Eco Legacy.
I will. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, Jennifer.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Take care.
Fantastic interview. It's like really intriguing. I would love to see how this process works, and excited to see who embraces it first here in the United States. So, interview segment is brought to us by Sitch Caskets. We're really excited about just this brand in general and the effing change they're bringing to the profession. So let's roll that promo.
Funeral Nation is sponsored by Sitch Casket, importers of premium hardwood and fine metal caskets created exclusively for the North American marketplace. Is it a Sitch casket or one of the top U.S. brands? Only your accountant can tell the difference. Visit Sitch Casket or contact your Sitch distributor.
All right, Jeff, what is our spotlight segment? Who are we going to shine it on this week?
I always let everyone know that we like to share positive stories about the funeral profession, on funeral directors and professionals that are doing something great in their community. This week, we shine the spotlight on the John Ireland Funeral Home in Moore, Oklahoma. Their firm handled a well-regarded, well-known tow truck company driver recently. And of course, there's a photo there. Guys, step out of the box. This is great. They used his tow truck that obviously he worked on and cherished for years instead of a hearse. What a way to go. He had his last ride to the cemetery and a piece of his own equipment. I think that's just brilliant. So Zach Colson and team there at John Ireland, thank you. Our spotlight shines on you for making our profession look good.
That's right. Great spotlight segment. And today's spotlight segment on the Funeral Director was brought to us by our new sponsor, the United Community Bank. We had Mr. Alan Mulligan on last week, and he's really excited about giving you money. So let's roll that promo. Commander, it's time to move into our WTF segment, where we take a lighthearted look at something humorous in the funeral profession or something that just makes you say, what, the funeral? And you alluded to this earlier. You said something about brakes. So I'm looking at this thinking either the hearse didn't have brakes or the car coming at the hearse didn't have brakes. One or the other.
Yeah, either way, something stopped short on this one for me. So it's an abrupt ending. I don't know. I could think of all sorts of stuff. This is a nightmare for a funeral home owner.
Absolutely.
And certainly for a funeral director driving. Anyway, thanks for sending these cards and letters in of stuff that happens out here.
That's right.
Love to have what the funeral. So I think this segment was brought to us by aftercare.com. Ellery, let's roll that promo.
Are you a funeral director who just can't find time to follow up with your families? We all know how important aftercare is, but meeting with families and running a funeral home doesn't leave much time for anything else. The Aftercare Card Program is an automated program that sends out 4 cards plus a survey to your families during the first year following a loss. You simply go to aftercare.com and enroll your family and you're done. It literally takes about a minute and the cost is only $20 per family. Visit aftercare.com today to learn more and get a free sample.
Okay, this wraps up episode 65. It's time to look on to episode 66. I don't know. Do we want to skip the number 66 or are we going to roll with it?
No. We've got next week is be pretty cool. We're going to have Sirius Chan live.
That's right.
So I'm going to be with him at a funeral home. It's going to be a big deal. So we look forward to having Sirius on from Such Casket.
Excellent. Okay, folks, so this wraps up episode 65. Next week, we're going to bring it heavy, hard. It's going to be awesome. Kind of live with Sirius Chan. And keep engaging with us on social media. Keep liking our Facebook page, sharing the content, sharing the videos. And make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. So until next week, have a great effing week.
Out here.